Hey guys, you guys know I'm a big gamer, right? I've mentioned it a lot of times. Modified my PC, built it from the ground up to be a gaming rig. I don't have either a PS3 or an Xbox 360. I have a Wii downstairs, which most recently I think I had the most fun playing Blox, which the second one, which is, you know, one of those real, like a Tetris type of game, right? It's something that's real simple. The mechanics are real simple, but still there's something so enjoyable about such a simple experience. So if you have a Wii, I recommend not the first one. The first one they had, they got their idea right, but then on the second one, they really refined and somewhat perfected the concept they were going at with the first one. Sometimes the sequels are just like cash-ins. Not the case with Blox. This is the Blox 2, Blox Bash Party, or whatever it's called, is actually a way better game than the first one. So if you have a Wii, I suggest at least renting it. Wii aside, I'm more of a PC gamer. Lately I've been playing a lot of Team Fortress 2, but I recently took a break from it just because, I got bored of the first-person shooter thing. You can overdo it. You get kind of sick of it, and you have to take a break and then come back to it. I was playing Mass Effect again, which you're probably aware that Mass Effect came out on the Xbox 360, but they released it on PC as well. Mass Effect 2 is coming out, I'm not sure when, probably next year sometime. Hopefully they'll release a PC release for it shortly thereafter. I hope, because I don't want to have to buy an Xbox 360 just for Mass Effect 2. But anyway, Mass Effect is a fantastic game. If you're into like the Knights of the Old Republic, or any of the other BioWare RPGs, if you're just an RPG fan in general, Mass Effect's a fantastic game. It combines a lot of the moral decisions and light side versus dark side things that you had to deal with in Knights of the Old Republic, where the decisions and the interactions you make with not only members of your party but other NPCs affect your character and affect how the story plays out. But it also has an excellent, the best, as far as I can tell, third-person, over-the-shoulder type shooting battle mechanic. A lot of times RPGs are, the turn-based, Final Fantasy, that's old school. So this has got the third-person shooter a la Resident Evil 4, but in an RPG setting, with a lot more tactics involved. Mass Effect's a fantastic game. There was a lot of hullabaloo when Fable first came out. The original Fable, not the second one. I heard the second one's a lot better than the first one, but I recently got my hands on the first one, a friend lending it to me for free, so I figured, hey, why? I was playing through Mass Effect again, and I was take a break from that because I've already done it, and check out Fable. So, of course, being the goody two-shoes that I am, my wife gives me no end of grief about that. Oh, light side mastery within the first half of the game. It's just how I play. I just feel bad for all the NPCs. I was like, I have to help. I know it's not a real person, but still I get that same emotional response. I must help. I have to help. I have to be good. So, of course, Fable, the first time I go through, I'm like, light side, light side, light side, light side. I have to do everything good, good, good. It's just the first thing that comes to mind. It's just natural to me. So I tried to recently play it through again, dark side, and it's way more difficult. In dark side, playing in the Knights of the Old Republic games was actually a bit easier in that you take advantage of people, money comes your way, credits come your way a lot easier if you're dark side. It's basically easier just to slash your way through any problems. Just physical violence solves everything. That's basically the dark side. And instead of trying to talk people out of whatever it is. So in Knights of the Old Republic anyway, going dark side's actually a lot easier than going light side. I would almost say the games are almost dark side bias. But I think if you're a goody two shoes like me, being good and actually resolving a situation in a non-violent way actually gives you more of a sense of satisfaction. And that in itself is the reward instead of the credit or monetary reward that you get in the game. So Knights of the Old Republic, kind of dark side biased. Mass Effect actually does a decent job of not being biased either way, you know, light side or dark side. I haven't actually played the game entirely through on Renegade because it's like you're an asshole the whole time. And I just can't, I can't stomach it, that kind of thing. Like, the only thing that I've been able to do is kind of go as like a middle of the road where I'm generally good, but no mercy for villains. That kind of keeps you a little bit closer to the center. You're like more ruthless, but as far as like innocents go, you're not assholes to them. So one of these days I'm just gonna grit my teeth and try to go Renegade all the way through Mass Effect. But Fable, on the other hand, is so light side biased that playing dark side I don't think is even doable. Like, as soon as you try to, do something kind of naughty in a village, like maybe attack a guard or attack a shopkeeper or try to steal something, it's like the guards come, you can't possibly defeat them, you get fined, so all your money gets taken away, you get kicked out of town. It's like there's no possible way to actually do it. The only way to actually, get dark side points is to just take evil quests as opposed to good quests. But actually being evil is unworkable. It's too difficult. They make it too difficult. Being light side biased, I think, is a flaw in the game that's supposed to be a little bit more well-rounded. There was a lot of things in Fable that they were, saying, oh, this has never been done in a game, like, oh, you can get married, There's a couple of interesting characters that are introduced but they're not even well developed. I mean, if you're looking at a game even far older than Fable, in the original Knights of the Old Republic, all of the members of your party are well-rounded, well-developed characters. None of the characters in Fable are well-rounded or well-developed. They're all flat. Even some of the more interesting or heroic female characters that you encounter, I'll mention a couple, like Whisper, and there's Briar Rose, that you would think you could potentially engage in a romantic relationship with and maybe even marry, considering that marriage is a part of the game. No, totally off limits. Not doable. So who do you marry? Random NPCs in towns that have no backstory. You just wander around town, pick a random NPC, maybe a barmaid at the inn, flirt, or even, at the end of the game where I was so renowned and so light-sided, and I had like my attractiveness scored up so high, I'd walk into an inn, and every female in the inn would get, the little heart icon over their head, and just as they, looked at me and started, commenting about how attractive I was and how heroic I was, they would, their character outline would go from purple, that's the like normal NPC, to green, which is the interactive NPC, like the store owners are green. That green indicates that when you talk to them, they will ask for a wedding ring. I would just walk into an inn, and all of the women there I could potentially marry just by giving them a wedding ring. Alright, fine. So pick a random barmaid or whatever it was. I actually married one of the apprentice chicks from the guild. Bought a house and whatever. So what happens? She randomly asks you to have sex with her. Okay. Randomly, she will go to one of the stores in town and give you a gift, which is useless because you've probably got better gear than what she's buying for you. So that's a nice gesture, but I'm just going to sell it. And besides that, you can't do a damn thing with your wife. Nothing. You can't even change their outfits. Here's a dress. Here about have the... No. So my wife was wearing the hooded apprentice garb for the whole rest of the game. And that's it. Like, go home, ask her to... She would ask me to have sex with her. Okay. And every once in a while she would give me a gift, like a piece of armor or something, and that's it. You kidding me? This is a well-rounded game. It's nonsense. It was like, to put it plainly, terribly disappointed. I think it's a mediocre game at best. And considering it got like scores of 9 all over the place, forget that. Knights of the Old Republic was older and did everything that Fable was doing a lot better. Period. I think a game like Mass Effect 2 is going to blow Fable totally out of the water. Fable 2 got a lot better scores than Fable 1 did, but unless they drastically improved on everything that they did in Fable 2, I don't see how it could even hold a candle to Mass Effect 1. That's just my opinion. So as far as Fable's concerned, disappointing.